Hello fellow investor, in this new video I'm going to update you about my investment with Lofty. If you are not familiar with this platform, you can check my review right here. Basically, it's a way to invest with fractional share in the United States housing market. I will not enter into detail about how it works because you can check in the review. And in this video, I'm basically going to update about my investment. So we will see after 3 months what's the situation. We'll try to compare the return I get from investing with Lofty with other type of investment, for example, with bond investing. And at the end, I'm going also to reinvest what I earned up to now in other properties. So I will do some kind of compounding effect. As usual, in the description, you find all the timestamps, so you can jump to the part which is more interesting for you. So let's start taking a look to my account. As you can see here, there is a current balance which is more than $170 up to now, earned in 3 months for a total investment of approximately $5,500. So these are all my property. There are 6 different property, but you can notice that 3 of them are the one where I invested the most, the first 3, while the other 3 I invested only few tokens, so the amount invested is only like $100, $51, something like that, while the other one I'm exposed much more. The first positive thing we can see is that some of this property, you see with this number in green, increased in value during the time of the investment. This is only on paper because the property was not sold, so it's just statistical value, but it's important because it tells me that my portfolio of property now increased 2.46%, which is not bad in only 3 months. What is important for me is anyway the revenue I get, the income I get on monthly basis, actually on daily basis. If we take a look at all the transactions right here, we will see that I receive the rent every day. You see, these are the rent I received for the 10th of July, this is the 9th of July, basically every day is the same. But let's take a look at the marketplace right now, because situation changed. When I started to invest in Lofty, there was only few property that was possible to buy, and they got sold out very easily. But right now we will see that there are a lot of property. You see all these ones that they are not completed. You see up to right here. Okay, this is the first one which is sold out. All these other property are possible to invest in. So there are a lot of property on the market. This for 2 reasons. First of all, Lofty became a bit bigger, so they sell more property. But the big difference comes to the fact that many owners decided to resell their property. We can check right here on the Discord channel of Lofty. There is Max, which is the CEO of Lofty. Every week there are a certain number of tokens that are going to sell again on the market. This is because some investors decide to sell their investment, to exit from the investment, and Lofty resell this token on the market. So this is the reason why all these property are still on the market, even if before was sold out. And this is something normal that would happen with Lofty. Lofty will have always some property that become sold out, and after some investor decided to exit, and they will go again on the market. Of course, if you are an investor in this property, you will continue to get your income, because it's not that like your property is again on the market, you don't have to do anything. But it's interesting to see that especially property which have lower cash-on-cash return are again on the market. For example, you see that there are very low cash-on-cash return, 5.7, 6.6. So there are like between 5 to 7%. These are property that are not very attractive anymore. So investors decided to exit, maybe to get some gain, because you will see that now the token is not worth it anymore $50, but is much more expensive. For example, this one 54, 52, 53. So investors decided to exit to make some capital gain and to probably reinvest this money into property which have a higher cash-on-cash return, like for example this new property that give 8.5. So the marketplace became very much alive, and also, after investing in 6 property, I need to say I didn't expect that the amount of email I get and amount of situation happening on this 6 property where I'm invested, it's really out of my mind. I was never expecting so much email of so much situation happening in my properties. You can see something like that. For example, this is one unit where there is unauthorized guest using the laundry, and we decided to kick out the tenant. This is one example. Or we can check this out. There is a repair of $2,000 which was needed in one of the unit. So this email is for telling us that we'll take this $2,000 from the reserve, which means that from the next days I will receive a little bit less of my rent because we need to replenish this $2,000 in the maintenance reserve. So as you see, these are 3 months of email and are quite a lot. There are 2 pages of email of something happening to the different unit, into the different property. So to be honest, I didn't take a look so deeply in all of them. I don't participate in taking the decision for my property. First of all, because my share is very small. And also this type of investment, I don't want to check every day. I mean, I just put my money there and the property manager need to do everything, so I don't care it. But if you want to be on top of your investment, like 100%, there are a lot of email you will get, a lot of situation, and some situation can be very bad. For example, take a look at this property. This is not one of mine, thanks God, but you see that a very low cash on cash return. This one, this property in St. Clair. If you check, there is the update, which basically said that they start the eviction process of one of the tenants. For this reason, the cash on cash return is very low because this is a duplex and one of the tenants stopped to pay. So of course the rent reduces quite a lot. So the cash on cash return is very low. If you was an investor in this property, this can be a huge problem, of course. They will find another tenant, but you will lose maybe a few months of rent, of full rent, and this is a problem. Anyway, after 3 months, I can say that I'm quite satisfied with the result I'm getting. If we check all the return I get up to now and we forecast for 1 year, this is approximately 7.3% yield. So from my $5,005 investment approximately, I get 7.3% a year. This is not bad, but I think it's necessary to compare an investment in Lofty with another type of investment that I really like, which is a corporate bond investment. When you invest in corporate bonds, you basically invest in some income because you receive interest or income coupon, you can call how you want, basically every 6 months or some of them even monthly. And it's very similar to a real estate investment from my point of view. Of course, the real estate investment have the huge upside of the fact that the value of the house or the property can increase a lot during many years. But from the other side, it's very risky because you don't know what can happen to this property, you don't know about the market, you don't know if you will find or not the tenant, you are not so sure about the rent you will get on the long run. So let's make a comparison between Lofty investment and a corporate bond. If we check here on C bond, I take 3 different bonds, from a riskier one to a less riskier. Let's start with, for example, American Airlines. American Airlines, this bond which expired 2025, I took all 3 bonds with a similar expire date just to make it to compare apple to apple in some way. We see that this one is giving us a 9.65% yield per year at maturity. It means, to cut it short, if you invest $10,000 in these bonds, every year you get $965 as interest coupon. Of course, this looks very good because it's a very high yield, but you can see here there is the rating of this bond, a rating of American Airlines, which is quite low, is B- or B. To explain how the rating system works, I will do very fast. We can check on simple Wikipedia. This is how the rating system of the 3 major rating agencies, which is Moody's, Standard & Poor's and Fitch. You see that there are some sort of bonds which are considered investment grade that go from AAA to BBB, more or less. And after you have a sort of more speculative rating, so speculative bond that go between BB to B. Whatever is under is shit. You should not invest in any of that. These are super extremely speculative or even in default. This is like wasting money. Most of investment in a bond which is under the B level is wasting money. So let's consider only the bond that go from AAA to B, which is already high speculative B. So American Airlines is a quite speculative investment because it's a B. But if we go up to the ladder and we take, for example, Netflix, Netflix, this bond also expiring in 2025, is giving us between 5.5% and have a BBB rating, which means in this chart is considered still investment grade, but let's say lower level. It means investing our money $10,000 into Netflix, it returns approximately $550 a year. So it's not bad, but it's already much lower comparing to American Airlines and even lower than Lofty. If we go to the top one, so AAA investment grade prime type of bond, we have Microsoft. Okay, this one expires 2026, but let's say it's not much a difference. And is giving 3.3% at maturity. So for every $10,000 invested, you get $330 per year. Not very attractive, is much lower than inflation, I perfectly understand. But this is an example because we need to understand that Lofty is giving us 7.3%, but it has a considerable amount of risk. First of all, we have the risk that the Lofty platform tomorrow cannot be there, which doesn't mean you lose your investment, but it will be quite hard and tricky to get money back, and this is a serious problem. And second, you saw what happened to each of the property. You don't know what can happen to the tenant. Some of them can stop to pay, and of course your return at the end of the year can be lower if you have every time 1 or 2 months without payment because the tenant got evicted. It's not very easy. And also you don't know what will happen to the housing market tomorrow. I mean, the price can go down, even the rent can go down. It means your income, your monthly income will going to reduce on the long term. We need to understand that there are alternatives than investing in Lofty. Lofty can be good to have some diversification, but personally right now a bit more interested to investing in the bond market, especially to bonds that have an expiry date of the next 3, 4, 5 year maximum. And Lofty, I consider it a little bit more risky comparing to the return you will get. But anyway, as you can see, I have some money invested in Lofty, this $5,500. I'm not going to increase my investment, so I'm not going to deposit more money, but I currently have $174 in budget, so I'm going to use this money to invest in other property. And I decided to invest in one of these 2 prime property right here, the one who give the best cash on cash return, and I decided for this one. Let's take a briefly look to this investment. We'll see that this is a 8-bed unit, a 4-plex, so there are 4 different apartments in St. Louis. Is occupied at the moment, is giving a cash on cash return of 8.57%. I already take a look at the documents, financial information, so I will not enter too much into detail, I will just invest my money. So let's proceed. So if you want to understand step by step how to reinvest this money, or in general how to start the investment, how to make an investment with Lofty, I suggest you to check my review. Anyway, I will link into the description. Now I will just move very fast to make the payment. So you see, I decided to buy 3 tokens, which is $150. I will use my rental income balance, which is $174, and I will probably now need to connect my wallet, my Para wallet. Perfect, successful. Now I have 3 tokens of this new property. If we go to the account now, we see I have only $24 in my balance, but here I have the new property. So I will start to get income from this new property starting from tomorrow. And that's it. So just to conclude the video, I'm not going to add more money to my investment with Lofty. I will keep to invest my income every 3 months approximately. I will reinvest in other property, but I will not deposit more money because I think that there are better investments out there comparing to what I can get with Lofty. I will anyway update you in the next 3 months, so let's see how things are going. I will try to make this video every 3 months. And if for any reason you find interesting to invest in Lofty and you want to start your investment, you can use my referral link down in the description, so we get both $25 free, which are not bad. And if you have any question about the Lofty investment, bonds, or whatever I said during this video, leave it a comment. I will try always to reply, and so see you next time.